Look what the Santa Ana winds blew in. Applause is nice. It lasts longer than sex, and it feels better. That's right. You sound in a good mood now. We had a rough audience last night, I really mean. You know you're in trouble when during the monologue, a nun throws a rope over the boom mic and says, "String him up." That's right. Ed is back in New York. He's gonna tie askew, and he's gonna, I guess, do the parade tomorrow, is he not? Thanksgiving Day parade, and that means the doc moves over here, and Mr. Charisma. I've never seen you wear that kind of a coat.
I've never worn one of these coats.
That's why I've never seen it. What is that?
I don't know. It's stiff, tell you the truth.
I'm serious. Is that wool?
I think it's ultra suede.
Ultra suede.
Well, as opposed to suede.
Ah, yeah. Isn't that what they make chamois out of? You look like a big chamois. That's very expensive. Ultra suede. Do you know that? That's so, yeah. That's not mimeograph. That's high-class stuff. That's very nice, Tom.
Thank you.
You look good. It's hard to believe Tommy's a musician. He's a great musician and writes great arrangements, but he doesn't look like, you know, he's not too hip. One of the guys in the band asked him if he wanted a roach holder. And Tommy said, "No, I use a roach motel in my kitchen." I hate the kid, Tommy, because he had a tragic childhood. It's true. When he was a little teeny boy, his mother told him never to eat candy unless it was offered to him by a stranger. Kind of tough to do the monologue during the past few days because I'm really not supposed to talk about the situation in Iran, and I understand that, and not supposed to discuss the Chrysler situation. We've been a little rough on Chrysler, and I don't want to do any jokes about Chappaquiddick. Did you folks hear about the Watergate break-in? I could talk about that, but it would be wrong. I mentioned Ed being back there. It is tomorrow's the big thing. That's national. They televise that out here. Sponsored by Macy's, the annual Thanksgiving Day parade. And in California, we don't have anything quite that big. We do have the Zodies. The Zodies Thanksgiving Day parade, but Zodies is not as big as Macy's, let's be honest. And so they can't afford those lavish floats. So what they do, Bertha, they're the head cashier. Big Bertha takes off her girdle, and she just kind of waddles down Lancashire holding a Snoopy balloon. But it's not a bad parade. It's not... How many of you really get sentimental this time of year? I do. You know, tomorrow... Yeah, holidays like tomorrow, my thoughts drift back to when I was growing up in the plains of Nebraska. Yeah. During the Depression, you remember the Depression? Oh, yeah. My folks were kind of poor, and on Thanksgiving, how poor were they? I want to tell you about that, eh? Thank you, sir. We couldn't afford a turkey, I remember. And one night, I remember my mother went down to the pet hospital, and adopted a chicken with a goiter condition. It was, Then I remember another year, my mother, if you lived back there, told me to go into the barn and slaughter the turkey. And I didn't have the courage to do it. So what I did, I handed the turkey a gun with a single bullet. And he turned it on me and took my watch. Folks, I'm talking, we were really poor, but I remember one Thanksgiving, Mom brought home a big tom for broiling. And you know, with a lot of gravy on it, a cat doesn't taste all that bad. Folks, I'm telling you. Yeah, you're right. I broke the rule. 3 jokes about the same subject. All right, let's go to politics. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's going to be a good year for material. Former President Gerald Ford, as you may have noticed, keeps making speeches attacking the Carter administration and the policies. Now, even though Ford has not announced, he's announced that he is not running, right? Somehow his name keeps, you get the feeling he's still available? See, Gerald Ford has a peculiar problem. Ford's the only presidential candidate who peaked without ever running. No, I think Jerry's leaving the door open in case his party wants him in 19. I like Gerald Ford. He's a good man. You got to think, he brought the nation together, if you remember, when he was appointed president after Nixon resigned. And 2 years later, he brought the country together again when he ran for president and nobody wanted him. So, you got to admire him for that. Jerry Brown is our governor. Now, see, Jerry is out campaigning. And he's trying to get into the debate back in Iowa, which is, I understand so far that Senator Kennedy is going to debate President Carter there, and Jerry can't get in. Because he's running, he can't get in that debate. He's running third, and he's trying to get, see, that debate's going to be held in television, prime time. So, a few of the things that Jerry is doing, trying to get exposure. I understand he's giving up Linda Ronstadt. And, yeah, he's going to date Miss Piggy. Going to be a judge on the Gong Show, and I understand he's going to skateboard around 3 Mile Island holding his breath. You know, little things like that will get on the news. Now, here's an interesting item. Did you see this? Senator Ted Kennedy picked a gentleman to help his campaign, and the gentleman was one of the oil industry's big defenders. Kennedy's been kind of harsh on the oil companies, and he picked a man who had his advertising campaign by the name of Herbert Schmertz. Now, with a name like Herbert Schmertz, you better be good. No, but Schmertz, if you remember those full-page ads that Mobile had a few weeks ago in the newspapers, explaining that all of the money that they seem to have made, they didn't really make. Herbert Schmertz was in charge of those ads, and what he did, he told this fantastic tale about how Mobile had plowed all of this money back into exploration to find oil for us and for the good of the nation. Now, I'll tell you how good an advertising man Herbert Schmertz is. He told that entire Mobile story without once having to use Once Upon a Time. Now, that's an advertising. Anyway, tonight, we have Tony Randall, Buddy Rich, Kelly Monteith, and Tommy Thompson, the author of a fabulous book called Serpentine, who also did Blood and Money, if you remember that book. Did you hear what I said, Tony? Buddy? Who else? Kelly? Kelly. And all of you. And we'll be back. Thank you, Tom. Tommy Newsom and our all-ultra suede orchestra. Ultra suede's very nice, you know.
Certainly is.
That's not just...
Better than regular suede, isn't it? Ultra suede, on second thought, is not really suede.
That's right. But it's ultra suede. It's right, and they're on the danger list, ultras. That's why they...
True. We all know that.
They got to quit shooting those ultras and so forth. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? We're doing the show, of course, tomorrow.
I was going to ask you if you got your turkey yet.
Sure.
Do you, truthfully, do you help Mrs. Carson prepare the turkey?
Just like you help Mrs. Severinsen prepare the turkey.
No, there is no Mrs.
Oh, that's right.
Exactly right. There used to be...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
The fact that I never helped her stuff her bird was one of our big problems.
I thought that was your problem. Well, now, you know, I forgot all about that. We've been together so long that I forget sometimes where we are.
Which wife are we on?
On various Thanksgivings. No, we're gonna...
In fact, that was one of the things we really thought about.
What? Did you...
I wanted an oyster stuffing in the turkey, and she wanted bread stuffing, and she got bread stuffing and a lot of money.
mean you used to argue about what you're going to stuff the turkey with?
Yes.
And that was one of the problems.
She's still stuffing the turkey, but not with money.
Well, it's nice to know you have no bitterness.
Well, I always used to say, I mean, you can have turkey on it. I don't like turkey that much.
Yeah?
I said, I love lasagna. She calls up every year at Thanksgiving, says, are you having your lasagna?
They don't forget, do they?
No.
I'm sorry about that. Well, we're having a...
You didn't answer the question.
What, are we having turkey?
Yes.
No, I don't help. I don't know about that stuff.
Be careful, those turkeys, they'll catch you.
I couldn't go out. You know, in the Midwest, it's seriously enough, but when you grow up out there, I could never go out. And some of the kids would have to get a pet turkey. And at the end of the year, you get attached, and you can't go out.
Pet turkey?
A pet. A pet, you know, they're not...
I mean,
They're not very nice birds to begin with. Turkeys are not your...
They're terrible looking
They're
things.
terrible looking, they're noisy as hell, and they're mean birds.
They are.
But kids would get them, you know. Now you got to go out there and kill them. I couldn't do that.
They
could you?
deserve it.
What?
They deserve it. Anything that ugly should die. You know, as you can see, I'm not too crazy about Thanksgiving.
You don't go out. No, you really aren't you? You're not going to
I
celebrate.
suppose you'll be home with the family having turkey. Just a typical American family.
That's right. You'll be out there writing the checks. Sending for the stuffing, huh?
You will have written yours the day before.
That's right. Mine's already in the mails.
And Ed went to deliver his personally.
Oh, what does he know? Tie askew and nose aglow. Okay. Well, I don't know about you. We're having an awful lot of fun up here, folks. Now,
I'm just going to the Zodi's Day parade. Watch Big Bertha come by.
Wow. Look, if you really feel badly now, it feels so terrible that you're going to be alone. Would you
I
like...
didn't say I was going to be alone.
You just say you ain't going to eat no turkey, right?
That's right.
You can come over. Would you like to come to the house and...
This is the first time you've ever asked me.
Well, you made me feel so guilty.
I mean, when you ask an employee in front of 15 million people, do you want to come to the house for Thanksgiving? What am I going to say? No. You know what I say? I say, yes, Mr. Carson, I love it.
Can you come?
No.
We really don't have room anyway.
I will be in the neighborhood.
I just did it because you made me feel so guilty.
That's good. I'm glad. Tomorrow when you're eating that turkey, I know you aren't that crazy about turkey.
Not
anyway.
really. Not really. I don't know. You just fell
Go
in the
ahead
habit
and
of
eat
it.
it and be happy. Look at all the family around you. It's a great occasion in America.
It really is. This is from, I can't find where it's
Right down there. You usually find that's where people sign a letter.
All right.
See,
You're right.
after sincerely yours. You can always tell, by the way.
Can you give me whatever you're taking tonight?
I'll tell you what.
You want to give me a hit on that, whatever it is?
I can't give you any, but I'll say you something.
I'll be right back. We're coming back.
Are Aren't you going to congratulate me?
Now, what do you want me to congratulate you about?
For intimidating you?
Intimidating me?
Yes. You haven't dared smoke while I was out here? I noticed that.
Well, you're a guest. You're a guest.
First time ever.
You're a guest. All right. Buddy Rich, my next guest, will be appearing at Shea Theater in Buffalo, November the 27th, and at the grand finale in New York from December the 11th through the 16th. Would you welcome Mr. Humble, Buddy Rich.
Well, how are you?
Terrific. Thank you.
You're looking good.
This guy was out tonight.
I had my Buddy Rich injection.
You
Yeah.
got it, man.
Doctor,
I think I'll buy a lid from you, man.
Doctor, yeah, he was rolling tonight, wasn't he? Where you been? Traveling all over the world?
Yeah, we've been
Country?
all over the place, as usual, doing one-nighters. And
You're one of the few bands outside of Macy, I guess, that still travel. Woody Herman.
Woody, we just closed at the Westbury Theater in
Yeah.
Long Island. We were there with Maynard Ferguson's band.
Right.
There were 2 bands on the stage.
But there aren't many anymore, are
No,
there?
there's
Really-
Woody, Maynard, Macy, our band, Lawrence Welk, and a few
That's
others.
true, they do go.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think, and it probably won't happen, that those days are coming back again, and
I don't want to come back. I like the new things that are going on.
yeah.
Yeah, much better, much more exciting. The audiences are better, the musicians are better, I think, and the attitude.
Where do you find all these young musicians? I know guys you have in your band, the average age is about 21, 20.
No, about 23, 24,
That
something
age,
like
huh?
that. And most of the guys have been with other bands. They come out of Berkeley School of Music in Boston, Texas, all around.
Yeah.
You know, bars.
You're a tough taskmaster.
No,
When you're
no, I'm very easy. Just work. Show me some blood. Faint.
I remember one night. Now you mellowed a little bit. We both mellowed. You know, as you get a little older, you're supposed to mellow, right?
No.
I saw you some years ago. Now, do you remember this one? You called out something like 28, whatever the book was.
Yep.
And one of the guys in the band said, he didn't particularly fond of playing 28 again. I guess he'd had it, you know.
That fire him?
You fired him right there as he was sitting there
Right. He probably
and
didn't
hired
read
him
it.
back after the next set.
And he fired me.
No, but he said, I don't want to play that. And he said, you're fired. I said, you're right in the middle of the set.
Yeah.
And then later on you said,
Well, you can't have that kind of mutiny in the band, you know. I mean, there's only one leader,
that's right.
right?
See, Tommy, how he's got him in his power right there. Is that so?
Ultra smooth.
Did you hang out mainly with, we've known each other a long time, 20-some years, but you hang out mainly with musicians?
No, not really. I don't do much hanging out, as a matter of fact.
You're not the
When
most social.
When the job is over, you work very hard. You've traveled 400 miles in that day and then played a couple of hours a night. You don't feel like hanging out too much.
Yeah. What really steams you when you're on the road?
Lately, John, the road is really horrendous. The attitude of most of the people in hotels, airlines, are just, forget about it. You're paying top dollar,
Right.
and you get served with, you order a steak, and you get served on a plastic plate, and you got the knife, and it cuts right through the plate. Doesn't cut through the steak.
Right
It cuts right through the plastic plate, you know. Little packets of salt and pepper, and it gets all over you. And they think they're doing the right thing. It's, you know, with me, it's really tough. I would get hysterical. Don't send up a packet of ketchup. Send the bottle up, you know.
Oh, you mean those little things that are in
Yeah,
the
and they
service?
squirt all over you, and you look like you just cut yourself in half. It's really...
I want to find,
Right.
I want to find a man who thought of wrapping saltines in plastic. Did you ever
Yeah,
try to
try to
open
get it
them?
out?
There's no way.
No way.
Without
So,
taking and just pounding the whole package and pouring it out just as dust.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. And of course, the 55-mile speed limit doesn't help any when you have 400 miles to go, and everybody's doing 70 anyhow. You know, the whole thing is insane.
Yeah, the other day, without trying to make a big social point here, but I was driving in on the Ventura Freeway. So I figured I just want to find out what's going on. I got in the left-hand lane. If you're going to get the left-hand lane, folks, and drive 55, you are going to be screamed at. Things that will throw things from their car at you if you don't get over.
It's really
So
nuts.
finally, I was up to 65, which was the speed limit a few years ago, and people were still going by in the left-hand lane. And finally, I got the hell over the
When
right.
we played Disneyland a few months ago, we were doing 70 on the highway, you know, cops passing by waving.
Yeah.
Over.
Did they
Wave
pull you
like
over?
this, you know, move over. But I find that really tough to take. The bus has to go at 55.
Yeah.
We have to drive at 55. And so a normal 7-hour trip takes you about 9 hours, you know, and it's, you get to the job and everybody's like busted out.
Yeah.
Everybody sounds like Doc.
Only tonight.
Yeah, what is it, Doc?
What is what?
Besides the stuffing of the turkey, what are you doing?
He's just reminiscing.
I'm going to have smoked turkey tomorrow.
I'll come over and smoke it with you.
Yeah.
I just can't figure out how to keep it lit. Smoke one for me.
You light both ends. That's how you do it, man. Smoke it all.
You get on one end, I'll get on the other.
That's going to be a happy
It's
Thanksgiving.
gonna be a good
tomorrow,
Thanksgiving.
Yes, at
I
our
agree with
home.
that.
We'll take a break. We're coming back. You gonna play something for us tonight? You feel in the mood?
Play some drums for
Sure.
you.
Really?
I'll do that.
I think Eddie Shaughnessy has lent Buddy his drums and the guys for second. Whatever. And we'll be back in a moment with Kelly Monteith, Tommy Thompson. After this, Macy.
To help